Hello, my name is Eric Martineau. I'd like to introduce you to NEXA Mortgage. NEXA is Hi, my name is Eric Martineau, and I would like to introduce you to NEXA Mortgage. NEXA Mortgage is a pure broker. Okay? In fact, we're the largest broker in the nation and the fastest growing. And I'd like to talk to you about the pillars that have made NEXA what they are today. The number one broker in the nation, right? With over 1,000 LOs and 120 lenders to choose from. So let's talk about the pillars that have made NEXA what NEXA is today. First of all, low rates. And as rates have begun to go back up a little bit, we've begun to see more and more disparity between where NEXA is at and many other lenders. Why? Well, NEXA is capable of getting the lowest volume discounts in the industry. Think about that. We have 1,000 loan officers, and therefore we're able to negotiate the lowest volume discounts in the industry. Also, every lender that's out there wants to work with us, again, because of our volume. So 120 lenders all competing for your business. In other words, they're competing on price so that you will use them. By the way, it's not just millennials that are shopping you these days, right? Everyone understands these days that they can get better rates. So if you're tired of people getting a quote from you and then ghosting you and disappearing and you don't know why, well, it could be your rates, right? But you say, oh, but I don't sell on rates. I sell on service. Well, so do we. Do you have 14-day? So do we. In fact, with UWM, our average 14-day CTCs. That's right. Clear to close, 14 days. And that was with 1,300 loans in 1 month. Again, we are a pure broker. What that means is you know the margins at NEXA. Try that with your company. Do they tell you what their raw rates are? Do you know how much your company is making off of your efforts? At NEXA, you do, because NEXA is, again, a 100% transparent broker. You know exactly what's coming in, what your portion is, and what the company is making. Now, I'm not one to give up commissions, right? But if you've got that deal that you really, really, really want to win, right? And again, I'm not into a race to the bottom, but say you're in a market like San Francisco where prices are super high and competition is just as bad, and you've got a jumbo loan that you need to be competitive on. You can do borrower versus lender pay. Or say it's a family member, whatever, that you want to get the best rate for. You have the freedom to do that here at NEXA. And by the way, we have no charges, no fees that we put in there. So your box A is going to be almost always zero. So you can tell people, we don't have fees, we don't have extra charges. All right, the second reason why you're going to increase your volume by coming to AAA. The second reason that you're going to double your volume by coming to NEXA is that there are thousands of products, right? With over 120 lenders, we have all the products you could ever dream of. So you don't have to turn anybody away again because you don't offer that program. Low FICO scores. We can go down to 500. We've got many lenders in the sub 580 FICO score area. What about down payment assistance programs? We've got those, and again, many to choose from, not just one or two. In non-QM, investor stated docs, right? No docs, fix and flip, hard money. All of that is available to you. What about that non-QM stuff, right? Investor stated or no docs or fix and flip. What about all that non-QM stuff? You know, the investor stated docs or no docs at all or fix and flip or hard money. We've got all of that for you. How about the self-employed? Those are always a pain, aren't they? Well, there's many programs, again, where the self-employed bank statement programs are available. Individual tax number ID, that's come back into vogue, right? DACA, it's back on the streets. We've got them. Again, many lenders that offer them. What about 1 day out of BK? We've got that also. How about Dr. NEXA? How about those high income earners that have been in school for the last 16 years and have lots of debt but have a ton of potential? We have those loans for you also. Manufactured single wides, one-time construction loans, we've got them. Nationwide high balance or jumbos. In fact, UWM, our #1 lender, just came back out with their jumbo loan. How about commercial, right? We did a loan for a gentleman the other day. He called us up and said, hey, I want to make a bid on a piece of property that's commercial. Can you guys handle that too? Yes, we can. Didn't have to send him down the street. What about reverse mortgages or HELOCs? All of it. So what I'm saying is you never have to turn anyone away again because you and your organization doesn't have the product that your person needs. So again, so you sold them the simple home and now they've got something difficult. You can still get it. You don't have to send them down the road. Another great part of NEXA is high compensation. You get to choose your compensation at NEXA. The reason is the owners have quit writing loans, and because they've done that, you're now free to choose. Now, again, the owners are going to suggest that you come in at the highest compensation rate, which is 275 bips. Again, transparency. If you do less than 3 million in a month, you'll get 220 of those bips. The company gets the difference. But if you do between 3 and almost 5, so 4.99 million, you get 250. And if you do over 5 million in volume in any 1 month, you get the rest, 275 bips for all of it. You've put enough money into the company coffers. Again, you get to choose which one you want. So if you are in a competitive market and you need to take less so that you've got better competitive rates, then do so. It's up to you. You get to choose your compensation level. Live video support. This has to be one of my favorites, right? When you go to the corporate website and you look under live video support or support, you will find that button right there, right? So if you can click on that button, you can get corporate support, HR, licensing, onboarding, accounting, compliance, marketing, any department that you need from a corporate standpoint. You click on that button and you're going to get a live receptionist, right, who's then going to send you over to marketing or compliance or HR, or if you're a new loan officer and you want to come on board with NEXA, you just ask for onboarding and they'll send you over. What about training? I get that question all the time. Well, again, if you can click a button right there on the support page, we have NEXA University, right? And you can get on there and you can see recorded calls, recorded trainings, you get marketing ideas, you get marketing plans, the whole gamut. It's out there, videos, PowerPoints, Word docs, whatever you need, it's there at NEXA University. And then probably the most important one that we use as loan officers on a daily basis, and probably the one that we use the most as loan officers on a daily basis, loan officer support. Let me explain how that works. You come to NEXA and you need a question, right? Let's say you're AE. Instead of calling them up and getting their voicemail like you do right now, right? And then they call you back the next day, you go click on loan officer support. When you come into the portal, it's all in Zoom. So as soon as you come in, there's the receptionist, and you say to the receptionist, I want to go to the Caliber AE's Zoom room, or I want to go to UWM's Zoom room. By the way, UWM has, I believe, 15 AEs sitting in the Zoom room for us, dedicated just to NEXA. And it's like that way with many lenders. But like I said, if you want to go to Caliber, if you want to know something from Mutual of Omaha about their reverse mortgage, you just ask for their representative inside of the loan officer support portal, and you will be sent over to their Zoom room. Okay. Also, this is where our mentors hang out. We have a very, very special mentor program where brand new loan officers can come into NEXA and get trained on everything from marketing to how to fill out the forms from a technical standpoint. Everything is taught in the mentor program there. Again, you click on loan officer support, you say, I'm brand new, I want to go to my mentor's Zoom room, and they'll send you over there. Now, what if your mentor isn't there? No problem. The mentors, all of them, there are many mentors think there's 6 or 7 of them right now, each with about 30 mentees. You can just go to the mentor lounge, and again, if your mentor wasn't available, one of the mentors will be there for you to help you look through the loan that you're doing and make sure that you're putting it all together before you send that package off to processing. Also, vendors are in there. We have more than just loan officer support from an AE or a mentor or a loan officer. Well, I guess the number one place that you would go inside of loan officer support is loan officer support. So you ask for loan officer support. If you're new, if you're old, if you're seasoned, it doesn't matter. There are a number of seasoned loan officers sitting in there that can help you with whatever questions you've got about your specific loan. And then also, our vendors are in there. So the insurance team is there. There is a brokerage that works with NEXA called the insurance team. And you can go in there and get a quote for homeowners or auto or bundled or life or whatever you want. And your customers can get those products also. So if you've got a new first-time home buyer and they've never had homeowners insurance before, they can come in and with the insurance team get a quote. All of that is right there in loan officer support. You're never left alone at NEXA. To me, that is huge. Processing. Another one of those reasons why you're going to 2 or 3x your volume just by coming over to NEXA. And this is why. NEXA has teamed up with a processor called SMP. Now, quick disclosure, SMP is not the company you have to go with, and I would guess probably half or more of the loan officers do use SMP, but you do not have to use SMP. You can do your own processing, you can hire somebody else, they just have to sign agreements with NEXA and they're on. But SMP is where we usually go. And again, they've got training there to teach you how to submit a quality file to SMP. But here's what's special about NEXA's processors, right? You get back your most valuable asset, time. Because you don't have to deal with processing anymore. And you're not stuck with whoever your corporation gave you, right? So in SMP's case, there are about 200 processors right now, and you get to interview them. Maybe somebody's better at reverse mortgages. Somebody's better at what the loan that you do, veterans or whatever. And so you would interview these processors and you would choose the ones that you feel the most comfortable with. But they are commission only. They are your partner. They don't get a salary, a draw, or any wages. They're your partner. If you don't close that loan, they don't get paid, and vice versa. So they really are your partner, okay? As I was saying a second ago, we, the loan officers, get to choose the processor we use. So let's say I choose a processor and that processor wasn't as responsive as I would have expected. Then guess what? I never have to use that processor again. I can interview another one and use the processor of my choice. Oh, and you'll love this. The processors, they collect all the conditions, not you. They are also all USA based, and by contract, they must give you their cell phone number. No hiding behind voicemail, right? Or, oh, I left at 4:30. You can get a hold of your processor anytime you need them. Again, you're going to get back time, and that's one of the biggest reasons that you'll love processing here at NEXA. Oh, and also the processing, it all goes in box B. With SMP, they charge $795. Again, you don't have to use SMP. You can, many do, most do, but you can go wherever you'd like, and you can do your own processing. The benefits package. In this case, size does matter. Because NEXA is so large and we have 1,000 loan officers, NEXA was able to negotiate a benefits package. And I know this is something that has kept a lot of loan officers that are working in the banking environment staying there because they get a good package, benefits package. But because of the size of NEXA, we are able to get medical, dental, health savings accounts, life insurance, 401k. It's all part of the benefits package for being a full-time employee at NEXA. Now, this one is probably the one that surprised me the most when I came on board here at NEXA, is the partner culture. How to explain it? All the issues that impact us as loan officers are discussed and voted upon. Let me repeat that. All of the issues that impact me as a loan officer are discussed in an open forum with all the loan officers and then voted upon. Every quarter we vote on, as an example, how much the contract with certain lenders is going to be. Is it going to be 220 bips? Is it going to be 275 bips to the company? Because obviously that has something to do with the rates that we charge, right? So we vote on those things, and we just voted last week, and the vote came back with one of our primary lenders to move them up a little bit more, except in 3 states. And so guess what? The contract got modified in every state except for those 3 that stayed at 220. Everybody else went up to 270. Every other state went up to 275. Again, the point isn't which states or whatever. The point is that we, the loan officers, have a voice. We are considered partners by the owners, right? So another thing that's important about NEXA to understand is that we are a pure broker. I said that in the beginning. What that means is many brokers, when they get to about 50 or 100 loan officers, they will choose to become a mini correspondent. As Mike and Matt have said many times, if they wanted to pad their pockets with a whole lot of money, they could become a mini correspondent overnight and make tons of money. But they have promised that they are here for us, the brokers, and aren't going to do that. So again, the mindset here is that we are partners and that the owners are going to do what's best for the loan officer and not necessarily their bottom line. To me, I found that so refreshing and mind-boggling. Which rolls into kind of the same thing. It's that partner mentality, but let me specifically discuss one of the areas where that partner mentality is so important, which is the revenue share. So let me begin that by asking you this: what's your current company's retirement plan for you? Well, here we get the perks of ownership without the headaches of ownership, right? So we are vested partners at NEXA. After you've been with NEXA for 2 years, you become a lifelong payout. You earn a lifelong payout of the revenue share that comes to the employees. Okay? So this is an inheritable residual income. It's kind of like a life insurance policy. So the revenue share, your portion of the revenue share, once you've been with NEXA for 2 years, is yours for life, and you can inherit it to your family. So what's happening there is NEXA as an organization, and I've heard Mike say this a number of times, if he were to take monies from the company's profits and go out and try to hire good talent, would it benefit him? Of course it would, right? So instead of using the profits that we're making him to enlarge his share of revenue, instead what he does, he and Mike, obviously, they put that money back into our pockets. They share the money with the loan officers for going out and hiring and finding that talent, and then have a revenue share of the corporate revenues that go back to the loan officers. So we all benefit from the revenue share, and as I just stated, that revenue share will last for your life if you've been there for 2 years invested. Marketing and technology. Now, this is the one that really I spent a lot of time thinking about, because rates. I can't 30x my rates. Even if we have the lowest rates in the industry as we do, I can't 30x those rates below everybody else, right? Turn times, clear to close. Sure, we have an average of 14 days with UWM, but I can't be 30x better at clear to closes than every other lender in the country. Where I can surpass everyone is in marketing and technology. So one of the first things you'll find when you come to NEXA is that NEXA has teamed up with Christine Beckwith at her company called 2020 Vision Your Success Coaching. Christine has a resume this long on as a loan officer. She has helped thousands of loan officers become better. She has a coaching program that we all are mandatorily invited to be part of for the first year with NEXA. And she goes through everything, again, from the marketing to the technical side of it. And so she's your personal coach. She and her team become our personal coaches when we join NEXA to work us through the processes needed to become successful as a loan officer. Okay. Another part of the technology, UWM, again, our flagship company that we work with, but UWM created Blink. And then NEXA got involved. And Blink is a CRM and a marketing tool, and it's free to anyone that comes to NEXA. Okay, so I have a separate CRM. I've chosen to get one. Many of us have, but immediately upon coming to NEXA, you have a CRM available to you that has been built by UWM. And no, that does not mean that you have to continue that file and give it to UWM just because you use their customer relationship management tool, Blink. So it's a separate thing. So UWM created Blink, but it is a separate deal. You can use it as your CRM. You do not have to funnel your loans over to them. But where I was going with that is NEXA has now worked with UWM to make Blink Plus, and it's coming out as an even more powerful tool. So for instance, you've got months worth of marketing slicks that you can just send out automatically to your customer base, and all of them are compliant. They've already gone through all of that, so you don't have to worry about it. Anyhow, the technology is always going to be on the forefront at NEXA. Again, I spoke about this a minute ago, but NEXA University, again, is chocked full of information from business plans, etc., on how to be successful. Or let's say that somebody calls you up. This happened to my wife and I just the other day. We work as a team, and a friend of mine who's a little older than we are called, and we felt that a reverse mortgage would fit him, right? And so go to NEXA University, and there are courses there on how to do a reverse mortgage, because that wasn't really in our wheelhouse before then. We were busy focusing on vets because we were both Marines. Lead generation. This is one of my favorites. You learn how to do lead generation. In fact, this week I got a hold of a real estate agent on Friday, and I asked him, the questions that I would ask to become a lender with him, so that he could share some of his customers with me. And he said, well, I'd really like somebody that can get me leads. And I said, I'd love to get you leads instead of donuts, buddy. Do you have a property that I can list? Now, we are in a market that is super, super tight. A house gets put on the market, and within a day there are many, many offers on that home. So homes are flying where we're at right now. And I said, do you have any homes? And he said, no, all of mine are listed. So I was looking at his corporate website, and sure enough, he had 6 houses all listed, and they were all under contract. He said, but my business partner, the other broker in this brokerage, just listed one. And I said, well, I looked at that guy's name and I didn't see it on the list. I said, well, it's not even on your website yet. He goes, no, he just barely listed about half hour ago. I said, okay. So send it over to me. So he sent me the MLS number. It took me about 15 minutes to make an ad. I posted that ad on Facebook, and about 15 minutes later, it was approved by Facebook. And so 36 minutes after I had just spoken to this gentleman, the first lead came in, and then 15 minutes later, the next one. Now, this was about 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and we just kept getting lead after lead after lead. And we obviously called them to see if we could pre-qualify them and all the things that, we do to help these people, to help the real estate agents. But remember, there were 2 people involved here. The gentleman I had been talking to on the phone and his partner. And his partner didn't know I was doing this. He didn't know I was listing his home. And so I went in there Saturday during his open house. He had an open house from 10 until 1. I showed up at about 12:45 thinking, okay, well, he's been there. He's about ready to leave. I'll get to talk to him. I walked in. He looked at me and said, so are you here to buy this house for yourself or for your family? I said, neither. He looked at me kind of strange. Why? And I said, I'm here to introduce myself. I'm the guy that's been blowing up your phone with leads. I bet you've gotten 20 leads today. He goes, that was you? How did you do that? I said, let me show you. And so we have an appointment this next week to go in and talk to him about how we can help partner in a lead generation program for their entire brokerage. Those are the things that I've been able to learn being here at NEXA. And by the way, if you want that trick, get a hold of me and I'll show you how to do it. So marketing and technology, you can use and do whatever you need to, obviously within compliant regulations, but that's why there's a compliance department. But as long as you're following the guidelines that are set forth by our industry, you'll be fine here. And lastly, leadership. I've already spoken about Mike and Matt. I was a Marine. I've been at the vice president level in some very large organizations throughout my life. And I can tell you, I've never met leaders like Mike and Matt. As Matt, I heard him say it one time, he said, "We are servient leaders." Now, a lot of people say those kinds of things. Very, very few that I have ever met are truly that way. They understand their business as owners of the organization is to serve us, the loan officers. And I see that time and time again as we work together. What they have actually done is flatten the traditional corporate hierarchy. We have a corporate town hall every week. And they share what we need to know as loan officers during the beginning of that meeting. And that part usually lasts about half an hour. But then they stick around for up to another hour and a half, whatever it takes. And every single one of us, if we have a question, have the opportunity to ask them directly. I have never been in an organization with 1,000 employees where all of us had access to the owners, the CEO, the president of the corporation on a weekly basis for whatever idea or comment or question that we might have. I have truly enjoyed the leadership here at NEXA, bar none. So if you want to know how you can join NEXA Nation, simple. Get a hold of me. Again, my name is Eric Martineau. And you can find me at nexajobs.com or email me, real simple, eric@nexajobs.com, or give me a call, text me, 801-888-5560. Just like a processor, that's my real cell phone. Give me a holler and I'll help you become the next loan officer at NEXA Nation. Have a great day.